Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a rousing welcome to Mr. ID Enam.
The evolution of you, finding your authentic self and leading with purpose in a dynamic world. First of all, the society is very ready. The question is, are you ready? If you are not ready, the society continuously produces what the society will produce. But if you are not functionally seated on the production line, you will not fit into what the society has. Whether it's tech, whether it's farming, whatever it is, the society will continue churning out stuff because as long as life is, you'll always have good and bad. So you have to choose. And there are chances, there are choices, and there are consequences. So for me, anybody that doesn't take a good chance based on the choice you make, the consequences will either be very glaring or the consequences will be seen or invisible. Sometimes young people continually say to themselves, Nigeria happened to you. Nigeria didn't happen to me, I happened to Nigeria. I know that because I'm proud to be a Nigerian. Not just proud to be a Nigerian, I'm proud to be from Akwa Ibom. Not just proud to be from Akwa Ibom, from Ikorekmene. Many of us know the fox as cunning, but what you don't understand is that a fox speaks to some form of discovery. It's always discovering. Your journey, my journey, to becoming who we are meant to be starts now. We are still on a journey. Some of us have had the privilege of growing, still growing, and some of us have had the privilege of not growing at all. Life presents you with so many things. Because sometimes you need to pick up the dues for some of your colleagues. Your journey to becoming who you are is all dependent on who you want to be. But one thing you must not lose is the fact that life is an incredible adventure of self-discovery. If you don't understand it, get it. We are all on a very unique path. The message here is that every journey starts with a single step. What will yours be? And I said something earlier. There are chances, there are choices, and there are consequences. What would that be? What is your step? I also know there's a maxim that says a journey of 1,000 miles starts with what? I erased that from my lexicon. I made it a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a decision. Because you could choose not to move. You may not decide to take that step. Don't blame anybody. Blame yourself. That's why I said, sir, that truth is, society will present all kinds. The society I grew up in Samshunubare, there were boys smoking weed. I didn't smoke weed, but the society presented it. Do you understand? That's what I'm saying. So what exactly is yours? And as you look at the fox, what does it tell you? Go study it. It symbolizes adaptability. It tells you that it's not about all that you have, because every time you are comfortable, that comfort will become a table that will fry you. The fox symbolizes adaptability. How many of you can adapt to the conditions where you find yourself? It's also about it's about cleverness. That's why they tell you that the fox is very clever. But what I love most about the fox is that spirit of exploration. So if you are going to find yourself journeying through this land called life, there's something in you that just says, I need to explore. And it only comes when you get inquisitive. If you are static in the head, in the mind, and the friends and the people you stay with are static in nature, you'll be static. But if you move with people that challenge you, people that say to you, I don't agree with your point of view, then you are in for what? An exploration. It's a journey. But then, the big question you need to ask yourself is, who am I? What is your authentic self? That authentic self is your true, unfiltered core. What is it at the very core of who you are? It's your unfiltered core. What is in your core? Is it inquisitivity? Are you curious? Don't let anybody kill that lamp. But I want you to understand that the authentic you is who you are when nobody is watching. That's the real you. So, what truly makes you, you? should ask yourself, what truly makes me, me? And the answer is not far-fetched. But how do people identify you? What can you bring to the table? Courage is one thing you need as a leader. If you ever want to be a leader, if you don't have courage, forget it. The other thing to look at is the inner strength and the inherent reality that the lion has. But my message to you, it's not about being perfect. As much as that inner you has excellence, it's actually about being real. It's about authenticity. Many of us are living lives that are not ours. And that's why you are making mistakes by the day. Because the evolution and transition that should take place naturally, you're forcing it. Just imagine a human being deciding to give birth in the 6th month. That's what most of us do to ourselves. Because we think we are behind time and we think that people are not saluting us or they are not joining us. But it starts from one thing. You must unmask your true color. What is your true color? Society, friends, and social media can sometimes make us feel like we need to wear masks or fit in. But there's something unique about you. Your unique colors are your superpower. That's what makes you you. That's what makes you stand. That's what makes you, when you get into a place, people know that this person is here. Like I will always say, your voice is your signature in the spirit. People don't need any other thing but just to hear you speak. And when you speak, they know that so and so is there. The day your voice is muted, somebody has a remote. It means you've compromised. It means you've done something you're not proud of. And there's somebody looking at you and waving this at you. That's what happens to most. Not just our politicians. You see, overnight, one person comes out smoking, and just goes, That person's voice has been muted. Somebody has a remote. It doesn't have to be EFCC. It doesn't have to be a file. All it takes is that one measure of compromise puts you in a bad place. It brings me to an animal that we all know. It's the chameleon. The chameleon speaks to adaptability. While a chameleon can adapt, the true nature of a chameleon is colorful. How many of you have ever seen a chameleon here? Have you heard of chameleon? We use it to, it's a chameleon. What does it do? Regardless, that chameleon has inherent colors. But when it gets into a certain environment, it now picks the color of that environment. But it doesn't change the nature of that chameleon, because the nature is distinct. The nature is what? Vibrant. The nature is colorful. My message to you is, don't ever dim your light to fit into someone else's shadow. Don't ever dim your light to fit into someone else's shadow. The environment all kinds of things can happen, but you don't have to fit into another person's shadow. Your friend, your brother, your sister could choose to go in a certain direction. That is not your direction. What is that thing? It's the power of your own passion and strength. I've heard a lot of us talk about, I'd like to do this, I'd like to do that. It's okay to do it. Passion is like electricity. Has a dual effect. Electricity can electrocute or it can electrify. So passion, as great as it is, if it is not well utilized, can electrocute. If it is well utilized, it's not seen. Why? Because it becomes a strength. My 2 questions for you are, number 1, what truly excites you? A lot of you, social media has excited you. You are using your data to electrocute yourself. Hi. You're just flipping and going. Likes. Your other friend is using it to make money by sharing thoughts, by sharing solutions. You are using yours to do hi. What is it that truly excites you? What is going on? That you're going to evolve into what you would not like. But I want to challenge you to go in search of what you are naturally good at. You know, Japanese live very long. One of the reasons why they live long is because of the word ikigai. It's the power of understanding. And there are 4 things. Number one, what you love. That's your passion. Number two, what the world needs. That becomes your mission. Number three, what you are good at. That will be your profession. And number four, what you can get paid for. That becomes your vocation. Many of you are wasting your time on vocation because you'll be paid now, but it's not sustainable. But if you get into what you're good at, you'll be known. That's your profession. You are professing it, skill, ability, time. All of that will give you a sense of what? Purpose. And these are your clues to doing what? Discovering your purpose. And I bring another insect to you. It's a bee. Which community are you a part of? The bee symbolizes purpose, hard work, community, and creating something that is sweet and valuable. The question I'm going to ask you is, which real community do you belong? Because where bees are, there are unique gifts. Your unique gifts aren't just for you. They are meant to make the world, what? A sweeter place. Because we don't understand it, we don't get it, we don't evolve very well. And when you don't evolve very well, there's something that is missing. It's simple because you're getting distracted. It's time for us to navigate what I call this world of ours. It's a dynamic world. It's a river of change. Things are at play. The world is constantly changing. Technology, trends will always change. Many of you are calling us old school. Yes, but trust me, you will get there. I wonder what yours will be called. Trends, there will be challenges. But learning to adapt is very key. That brings me back to the fox. But my message to you is, you cannot stop the waves. I said that to a set of executives yesterday. I had the privilege of, facilitating their strategy session. I said, guys, you are sitting from the group CEO to all the CEOs in the room. I said, guys, you are sitting at a time when these young people are driving a lot. Many of you can't manage them. You are approving stuff and denying them moving. Why? Because you have refused to accept that the waves will continue to run. Because you are not upgrading, you are denying them the right to push forward their own time. You cannot stop the waves, but you can learn to surf. When you learn to surf, you will get new skills, you will upskill, and if you do it, you will get better. That's what it takes to really move in an era of dynamism. It's about finding your purpose. I know someone said so in the course of this. Purpose is not a job title. Young people, I've discovered purpose is not. It's not a job title. If anybody says to you that it is, it isn't. I have discovered my life purpose. And you can be 80 and not discover your purpose. It doesn't mean anything. Don't put yourself under pressure. I did not. Far into the game. It was when I was at Coca-Cola. I was an executive at Coke. That's when I discovered, come on. So this is my life purpose, and I've since been on it. I mean, it's been 10 years I've been out of corporate. 10 years. Because I chose to follow my, what? That I understand my purpose. So, that is your North Star. It is not a job title. Again, it is a positive impact you want to make on the world. If you have no other example, look at BBM. Purpose. And she's following it with dexterity, humility. That North Star is your guiding light. And I'm looking forward to the day that many of you will come out and be able to stay. This is what I've learned. This is where I am. My question, what mark do you want to leave on the world? My father passed on a few months ago. A lot of people came to that small village of mine. I didn't even realize it. The people that came from outside the country everywhere to that small village, all kinds of people came. But I can tell you that 80% didn't know my dad. Why did they come? They came to honor a man they had not seen or met, but they had met me. Or there must have been something that I had done well that made a lot of them come out to say, we're coming to honor the memory of this man. That's what greatness is all about. What mark do you want to leave on this world. You think it's about the short race, you've missed it. It's a marathon. It is what? A marathon. Don't be deceived. Leading with purpose means small action, big impact. Leadership isn't just about being in charge. Many of you just want to be Oga. Forget, nothing did there. If you truly are a leader, leadership, you have to lead in a ship. And it's a ship carrying all kinds of people. If you're a true leader, you will understand it. But the biggest piece in leadership is not just being in charge, which is okay, but it's about inspiring others and making a difference. No matter how small the action is, don't dismiss your days of very little beginnings. Think about the fox. When you see these guys moving, they are in turn. You know what is going to keep you at the top? It is what you imbibe now that will keep you at the top. If you are indisciplined, use it and stay at the top. What keeps you at the top is what got you there. Discipline is what, if you started with discipline, it is what will keep you up there. If you started with indiscipline, I pray it will keep you there. That's why a lot of our leaders are struggling, because most of them are very indisciplined. It starts from you being a good self-leader. When you're a good self-leader, you become promotable to being a leader of others. Then you move to being a leader of leaders. That's the transition. But many people, they overtake boy to man. That's why you see catastrophic leadership. Because true leadership is about demonstrating loyalty. You must be known for something. Be able to stand up and say, on this count, you cannot take the award. That's why deficit of trust is killing our society. That's why there can't be collaboration. That's why you don't trust the next person. Because the people you see are jumping from one roof to the other. And they're not monkeys. True leadership is a demonstration of loyalty. It's a demonstration of collaboration. And it's a quiet and impactful presence. You will announce yourself before you are announced. It's called humility. All I'm saying to you, your actions, no matter how small, create ripples. Your kid brother, kid sister is watching you. Your cousin is watching you. God is watching you. Somebody somewhere is watching you. You are creating ripples which you may not know. I told the band of CEOs yesterday, I said, you're talking about customer experience. Why the customers are running away. I said, a lot of it, what happens in corporate, truth be told, because I've been there, poor or bad decisions by management. So someone can sit at the top and make a decision without connecting with the ground. At 30,000 feet, you must be able to connect with 1,000. If you can't oscillate between that as a leader and you keep taking decisions, you will be catastrophic. And those small actions will create ripples. Later you say, how did we get there? Little incremental errors or actions get us into a swamp. But I'll say to you, please embrace failure as a teacher. Mistakes and setbacks are not the end. They are just powerful what? Learning opportunities. Embrace failure as a teacher. It will teach you something and you will understand that this is real. No man can give you security. No man can do anything other than the Creator himself. It is that place of confidence that should let you know your evolution continues. And it starts with self-discovery. It moves on to purposeful living. Then your lifelong journey continues. It's not because I want to be this. It's good to aspire, but you will have to perspire. It's not automatic. You need to go through process. Process is what guarantees progress. The most exciting chapter of your story is always the next one. But just know that the evolution continues. You didn't go through the university system to come out and be a failure. That's not what you decided. But you must know what's on the inside of you. What exactly do you want? And at the end, make sure you start your evolution today. What is one small step you can take towards your authentic self or purpose? What resonated most with you today? And what is one question you have about your own journey? If you answer these three, there'll be a call to action. And that call to action will pummel you. will grant you the courage, the confidence to move. Otherwise, the entire society will wrap you up. Don't be afraid of anything that is around, but pray to God to make you own the source. Be the source so that you can be a blessing to this world. That is the ultimate place for every single human being who has life and who has seen purpose. Thank you so much.
We'll be taking a couple of questions.
My name is Akiola Fati Abike. So my question is, like, I'm someone that love fashion designing, and I've been sewing it quite long for myself. I mean, like, when I see people doing it, I just start from their knowledge, then add it to mine. So recently, I see that I fell in love with making bags. And again, I fell in love with raising arts that they are doing now. So I was like, what can I actually go into? Can I go into everything all together, or I should just choose one that I want to actually go into?
Okay, you're not the only one. Many of us are caught in this web of, abilities. And if I hear you correctly, you've been into fashion designing, and then there are some other interests. The reality is that you're on the path of discovery. And you need to ask yourself some very salient questions. And the way to know is this: first and foremost, if you are irritated by something, that thing that it constantly irritates you has put you on a path of discovering your purpose. When it has to do with something, I talked about 4 things. What are you good at? The best mirror of it is when you do something and people now they commend you and tell you what you didn't know, then that begins to give you a sense. It's called feedback, that you're on the right track. Now, there will be positive and negatives. So look through these 3 things and see which one have you received the most feedback. It's not scientific, but it tells you the steer, the kind of direction, But one thing I can tell you, you cannot be a jack of all trades and master of all. But you can sequence. You can have one, finish it, build it well, consolidate. When you consolidate on one, you can then hand it over to someone to run. But please, whatever you choose to do, go for the foundation. Understand the rudiments. But if you don't understand the rudiments of any of these things, you have not even started. So go back to the basics. Where you have the energy and the feedback coming positively, take that. That's the cue. No scientific way to prove it, but that's the cue. Because human elements will be your mirror. Okay? Thank you.
My name is Kendi. So I have 2 questions, sir. I do some things on my own, whereby I sit down, do some things with my junior ones. But I'm always skeptical about something. Is it about doing or about saying? Is it about doing or about saying? What do I mean is that I do some attitude, I carry some attitude, some characters at home, whereby I sit down on the table, read for 5 hours non-stop. And my junior ones are seeing me as I'm doing all this. But one day I got an award, and my junior ones asked, Bro Kenny, how can I get this award? So my sisters are not telling me that you are not teaching these people something. But I said that I focus on doing than me telling them to do this. So which one is better? Should I keep on doing and see the success, or I keep on telling them, do this, and do that? So the last question. I'm a lab scientist intern, and as a lab scientist, I have to read, I have to take some courses online, but all these are too well-meaning, and I want to go into the science field as a lab researcher. So, and I read a book by Brian Tracy, No Excuse, that for you to be wealthy or for you to attain your height, you have to read for like 40 hours a week. How can I get a drive and to keep on pushing so that I can attain this stage?
A round of applause to him for making himself very vulnerable. Going to your younger ones and the story, I said to you that people are watching. But one thing I want to tell you, don't put pressure on yourself. in any count. There's something called grace. There's grace to do certain things effortlessly. Now, your younger ones may not be graced to read. I didn't want to be a doctor or architect. I studied, I had all the sciences, physics, chemistry, biology, economics, government, and all of that. My father wanted me to be an architect or engineer or something, but I'll not tell you what I did so that you will not go and copy me and say, I said it. I didn't say. The reality is that I wanted to be a theater artist, but my dad said no. That was one of the reasons I don't like reading for long. That's why I didn't study history. History, I just couldn't, which is why I didn't study law. I don't like reading. But I'll tell you that I lead in trenches. I have books. I have a book in my car. I have a book in my in the other. I have there, all around me. I'll pick up from where I stopped. That is the way I read. That is my style. So they have to find their own style and rhythm. It's about your rhythm. What you need to do is to educate them on the whys. Why it's important for them to read, to access information. Is one of the ways to access information. Another way is by observation. Always tell people why they must do something and the essence of it. Leave them to get the conviction based on what they can and what they cannot. And if they cannot, there's a difference between can't and won't. One is an issue of skill, and one is an issue of attitude. You don't use the same medicine to cure both. They are two separate things. Skill, attitude, two separate. And coming to whatever you've read. People write. And it's good to read. But I like my own experience. I can't do 40 hours. I can't. But I'll tell you, if you go read a book like Good to Great, I've gone through that book 3-4 times in my life. But I can tell you, you can read it and come out, but where is the application? What I'll say to you is don't put yourself under pressure. And you want to be a lab scientist or you want to do pace yourself. Pace yourself. That is why you have 1, you have 2, you have 3, 4. Otherwise, you burn out. And if you burn out, what will happen? There's something that will impact your health. Then the wealth you want to create, you now use it to recover the health, where you would have had sanctified common sense to know that everything in life, it's process. Line upon line, precept upon precept, a little here, a little there, and the goal will be sitting with you, and that's when you can approach the crown. Thank you.
So we'll be taking a question from the PWDs.
My name is Oladoyin Okesia. I am deaf and I am a youth leader. He's a leader of the Deaf Association. And these are his 2 questions. Number 1, what can he do to help the deaf society grow as a leader? He's a youth leader. What are the skills that he needs as a leader to make leadership to be effective in the deaf community?
There's a tendency, and we must understand that really and truly we are evolving. We never used to know that this was a key aspect of life. And so we should give ourselves some opportunity. First and foremost, I'll say to you, don't put any pressure on yourself, but you can start by championing a cause. This one that has hit your heart is a cause. And this cause calls for a community. It's a community of believers or a community of disciples. So you must have people who are believers in what you are talking about, that you need something for the deaf. And they will look at it and it will ignite not pity, but empathy. But to ignite that empathy, you need to show them the benefits of what they can do. So for example, you have colleagues of yours who can function in certain roles. And to help facilitate their functioning in those roles, you will then get this community. Now, I always tell people there are 3 A's. You need acquaintances, allies, and advocates. Start now to recruit advocates. Who is an advocate? BBM is an advocate, as an example. You say to BBM, I need XYZ for my community. BBM knows 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. Because you have access to BBM, you already have access to those people. It's called a stakeholder map. That stakeholder map means you are the core, you've been able to reach BBM, and behind BBM are 3, 4 people. She will call on one of them, and behind that person she calls, there's another person, and it grows like that. What you are looking to do will be done simply because you've been able to recruit an advocate. Whilst you are doing that, you also need allies, because as you continue to get your job done, you need those that will help you sharpen the saw. These are people at the same level with you, but they are what? Partners and going with you. So a lot of the work is in your hands. A lot of the work is for you to rise up and say, I want to do this. If you don't, nothing will happen. But if you do, activate it, then it happens. Just the same way you prime a pump. Your well does not just bring water out. That pump is a facilitator. You are the one that can facilitate getting water out of there and getting it into the apartment. That apartment contains the room where your community of fellow PWDs are. You are a gateway. Make you good use of it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. You are a gateway. Make use of it.